Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Lori Smith on Blog Talk Radio again. And I just thank you for joining me and for listening in. This is today a topic: child abuse prevention and human rights abuse prevention is up to us. And I thought today we might talk about domestic violence and just the effects that it has on children who witness it or who are secondhand victims of domestic violence. And that's my story pretty much. So I thought it'd be great to cover some information and just to bring that awareness that this is happening all over the world, and not just North America, but everywhere. It's a real issue. Domestic violence is not limited to violence against women. It is also includes violence against every member of the household. So we're going to talk about that today as well. And I'm just so happy to be here. I'm happy to be able to share this time with you. If you have any questions or comments or you want to tell your story, by all means, please do phone in. My guest call-in number is area code 917-889-3736. And I'll repeat that later during the show if you didn't get that. That's 917-889-3736. And you're more than welcome to give me a call, give me a buzz. If you'd like to, you can also send me a chat. I have my chat window up. Sometimes I don't check it. I'm sorry to say I'm just going to get to this is rather new to me. But I do have my chat window up, so if you have questions or comments but you'd rather not be on the air, just pop them in there, but make sure you put private if you'd like to keep it private between me and you, and I'll try to answer as I go or after the show. And I appreciate you just tuning in to hear just to hear some information regarding domestic violence and child abuse issues. And I was doing some research actually, which is what led me to the topic today. And in my research, and a good friend of mine passed along some information regarding a great website for women. It's actually designed for women, this website. It's called the Real Grace for Women Network. It's www.realgracenetwork.org. And I'll just give you a little bit of their information. I'm going to quote right from their website. The Real Grace for Women Network is a quote, a faith-based organization designed to guide women who have been wounded and abused along the path of healing. Our desire is to create a safe place where struggle and pain can be shared, a place where hope can be restored. And that's quoted right from their website. It's just they have some small group settings held confidentially that help women to discover restoration within their lives, and it's like a 12 to 18 week facilitator-led journey with workbooks and stuff. And you can go right on their website and check that out. And I'd recommend that even for myself and for anyone who is just in need of some alleviation from pain, from the struggle of dealing with domestic violence or sexual abuse or child abuse or just anything in your life that, like they said, and this is a women-based or faith-based organization designed to guide women who have been wounded. So that's a great resource for women. And you can go right on their website, www.realgracenetwork.org, and get some great information there. And I also have on Facebook, I am part of a group called Men Are Survivors Too, Domestic Violence Resources for the Male Victim. And this is also part of the Silver Braid Prevention for Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault organization. And there's some great information there on the website. You can check it out. It's on Facebook. It's called Men Are Survivors Too, Domestic Violence Resources for the Male Victim. It's like a little group, and you can go and get some support and get some information regarding the male abuse, male victims, and male survivors of domestic abuse. As we all know, it happens, and it happens sadly more than we all probably want to admit, and it's just unfortunate. Children growing up in an environment like that, just really suffer the effects of that. Men and women might have grown up in great homes, loving homes, but because of economic pressures or drug use, or whatever the situation may be, mental sort of mental illnesses that come about, they can't, the marriage just breaks down. So whether it's the male or the female, whoever, whichever, both people actually making the situation worse. We all know how it takes two to fight, and so my parents were a prime example of that. The children who grow up and see and witness this type of behavior, even though these people might have had great childhoods, and their marriage falling apart, or even not even just their marriage, but their relationship with each other, the man and the woman, or the woman and the woman, whichever, the relationship of this partnership that was supposed to be built on love and trust, all of a sudden is just, one person or both are attacking each other and really just trying to destroy each other. And the children see this and witness it, and it's horrible because they actually, it forms the very way that they think about things, and it trains them in the way to behave, and it also sets them up for a huge fall when they get older. Unless they get the support that they need, whether it be real therapy or just, like myself, who was just very blessed to find peace within myself, my own spirituality, and also peace with, and had some great friends. I had some really great friends growing up who really tried to be there for me and make a difference in my life, and I think that's my purpose. It's just God's way of working with me. I'm just so thankful to be able to walk free from the pain of that. But I know there's so many people out there who are hurting. I have some great information, and this information I have that I went and researched is off the Child Welfare Information Gateway, and that is, I'll give you their website address at www.childwelfare.gov, G-O-V, www.childwelfare.gov, and I put that down in my chat room. It's definitions of domestic violence. It goes into talk about, what the whole issue is with domestic violence, and gives some basic information on definitions. And I'll just quote right from their website on the first page there. The definition of domestic violence varies depending on the context in which the term is used. A clinical or behavioral definition is a pattern of assaultive and or coercive behaviors, including physical, sexual, and psychological attacks, as well as economic coercion that adults or adolescents use against their intimate partners. And that was quoted right off their website, www.childwelfare.gov. And so, it's a behavior pattern of assaultive or coercive behaviors. It could be physical assault, sexual assaults, psychological attacks, economical coercion, withholding money, withholding health care, not providing rights to life, really. And that has very much this is why this is so important to me, because it is just right in line with human rights and child rights, which I am so big on, not just for, North America, but worldwide. We really need to stand up and say, we don't like what we see. We don't like personal life, which is what drives me to do this. Just the pain that was caused by two people who didn't reach out for help and just continued this cycle of abuse and hatred to their children, which the children then had to deal with in their own lives in their own way, trying to find their way. And it's sad to see that happen, and especially in North America where it shouldn't be happening, because we have the resources, we have we're so I'm just going to say it, we're so blessed, with whether you're believing in spiritual goodness or, God or whatever. We have the resources here. Even people that are really hurting financially right now, you can't even compare yourself to someone living in, let's say, Africa or any country around the world that just does not have basic rights, basic human rights, which is food, clean water, the right to life. Your life would be threatened, and there would be nobody to step in and say that's wrong. So that's why I am just dedicated to spending the rest of my life here in North America, raising my voice, trying to encourage as many people to come along with me, and because I know there's so many people out there raising their voices, I join you and I hope that you'll join me and we support each other, back each other up on these child rights and, abuse issues, whether it be men, women, children, doesn't matter. This just needs to stop. And if you can reach out to people in your world, that is where we just really need to start, is with ourselves, within our own families, within our own lives, It's a huge issue. And people, just because, you love them, doesn't mean they're going to change. And if you're in a home that's full of violence right now and you need help, there is help out there. And I'm just going to read off some of these numbers because you need to be safe, and you need to get the help that you deserve. To not have your life being threatened, and to not have your children's lives threatened. I'm not a counselor. I cannot give any legal counsel, but what I can do is numbers. And here in Canada, Child Abuse Hotline 1-800-387-5437. You can send me an email. You can contact me via this Blog Talk Radio show, and I'll give you some information. Down in the States, I don't have a whole lot of phone numbers down in the States. I know that there's 1-888. It's a 1-800 number, 722-7273. That is the Silverbridge Survivors Support Network. That is sexual abuse, domestic violence, and sexual exploitation. That's like a hotline number. It's a crisis line, 1-888-722-7273. And I'm here Dreamcatcher's website. I'm a volunteer for Dreamcatchers for Abused Children, and you go on their website and you will see under resources and stuff that they have all the numbers listed pretty much. I mean, they're there, and just at the click of a mouse you can go in and find really important phone numbers, or go to your phone book, or just dial 911. Whatever you have to do to get yourself safe, you do it. And Dreamcatchers for Abused Children has lots of great information on there regarding child abuse, intervention, how to go about making the phone calls, what to do. So get on their website, and that's just straight. You just type this into your browser, dreamcatchersforabusedchildren.com, and that'll bring you right into their website. They are dedicated to child abuse, neglect awareness, prevention. They are child advocacy, domestic violence advocacy. They're there to help you. I am too, so if you need help, make sure you send me a message. And I'm going to, I've got my chat window up, and if you want to pop in and drop me a note, if you want it to be private, please let me know. And if you want to call, you're more than welcome to phone in. And my guest call-in number again is area code 917-889-3736. So, yeah, I just think everyone deserves to be walking free from pain and misery. I know that it's really taken its toll on my family's life. Our family was virtually destroyed, and, we all just spun off in our own directions. Like, we just there was no common roots, no common grounding for our family to hang on to each other. And even though we still keep in touch, the members that are left, there's a separation between us because we did not grow together as a family. So even though we love each other, we can't live in the same house with each other because we are on different levels. And so, yeah, it's horrible what abuse and witnessing domestic violence can do to a family. And I know here in Calgary, I was checking out the YWCA here in Calgary, the Young Women's Christians Association, the YWCA. It's community. They have their own website, community.ywcaofcalgary.com. And because I was checking out domestic violence, and they said, and I'm going to quote right from their website: domestic violence is the single largest women's health issue in Canada, with more reported cases than heart attack and stroke. It affects women of all races, ages, socioeconomic classes, and educational backgrounds, and in many cases involves children. And we just know, like, what's going on out there. The world is full of misery, people walking in hatred in the dark, mistreating family members, and it's wrong, wrong, wrong. And I don't care how you look at it. I loved my parents, and I still do. And I love my mom very much. I did not think that the way she treated me was right. and I absolutely do not condone her behavior towards me. I don't think anybody should. I think that there are lots of people who, I'm not saying they owe me an apology, but I think there are lots of people that love my mom that actually ignored the way that she treated me just because they felt sorry for her. And if you know of something like that going on in a family, make sure that you speak up. Do not allow that to happen just because you feel sorry for the person. Oh, I feel sorry for them, so I'm going to let them beat me up, or oh, I feel sorry for her, so I'm not going to say anything on how she treats her child, or because I would go we would go to friends' houses for dinner after my mom had beaten me up, and I'd have like bruises and welts on my face, and I'd hear on my face, and I would go and sit with the daughter of this family, right, this particular family. And they knew, the parents knew, and I would tell the daughter, I'd be like, she hits me one more time, and I'm going to run away. And I was probably about like 9 years old or 10 years old, because that's when the abuse towards me from my mother was the worst. And, nothing was said, nothing was done. And these people, continued to just dote on my mother and my father and just love them. And in the meantime, they're beating the crap out of their daughter. And I just, that behavior is so wrong. And, as much as you love someone doesn't mean that what they're doing is right. And so if you're experiencing abuse of any kind, domestic abuse, domestic violence, sexual abuse, abuse from anyone in your life, abuse from a parent or a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle or a cousin, or maybe your parents, your mom or dad, or a neighbor, you think, oh, well, I love them, they're my family, or they're my friends, or whatever, it does not make it right. And so I challenge you, you will suffer from this down the road if you do not stand up for yourself and get the help that you need. If no one around you, like in my case, is willing to do it. I had one family willing to intervene on my behalf, and I was almost 14 years old at the time. My mom wanted me out of the house anyway, and this family stepped in, and that's in my blog. You can check out my blogs. They're on Blogger, and one is called Not So Fond Memories Growing Up in an Abusive Home, and the other one is called, and that one is my own personal blog. The other one is for school, and it's called Promote Positive Change for Human Rights Abuses. And I enjoy writing both of them. I've been a little bit preoccupied with this Blog Talk Radio show just because I'm actually trying it out for a couple of months, so that's sort of been my focus. But blogs are truths, as truthful as I can possibly be. That I believe that I'm telling the honest to God truth, as I am a truth seeker myself. So, because without truth, what is there, right? I mean, the truth of the fact is that my parents, the way that they treated each other was not right, and the way that they treated their children was not right, and it sent the children off going down a path that was just dark and unhealthy lifestyles, drugs, drug abuse, just not really caring about the future. I hope you can hear me. The sound wasn't very good this morning on my other program, so hopefully you'll be able to hear what I'm saying, because this is really important, and I really want people to get the help that they need, because, like my brothers didn't get the help that they needed. Two of my brothers are gone now. One actually committed suicide, and quite a few years ago. The other one died of a drug overdose in the home in Calgary. And that drug overdose, he had been doing drugs for so many years, and he just knew probably that at the end of the road, that's what was going to happen to him, as he had overdosed many times. And so basically he was just committing suicide in a different way. And I followed that path myself. I never considered myself to be suicidal, but I certainly didn't plan for the future. Was doing a lot of drugs before the age of 20, and didn't care actually if I woke up or not. I did not care if I lived or not. It was just, that's how far down and dark my whole spirit had been placed. And I spent years blaming my parents and keeping a lot of negativity in my heart and stuff, and not looking for help, not reaching out. And but I thought, I can handle this, no problem. I still loved my parents very much, and thought that I thought that I had forgiven them. I thought that I really hadn't. And I had a lot of hatred in my heart, and for what had happened. And a couple of years ago, I was able to make peace with that, and that's what my other program, Mount Bethel Christian worship and fellowship is all about. But I'm keeping this child abuse prevention and human rights abuse prevention is up to us. Very much just what it is. You know, there's some good help out there, whether it's faith-based or not faith-based. I would really suggest that you reach out and do not allow abuse, whether it's domestic violence or child abuse. Do not let it destroy your life. I have run into some people on some great networks here on the web, and one is called, and this is, you know, for survivors or supporters of survivors. This is called Child Abuse Survivors, safe place for survivors and supporters of child abuse. So you can go, you can join that, and you can become a member. And if you are suffering with post-traumatic stress disorders or child abuse issues, and you just really need someone to talk to, and you need some information, that's a great resource. I belong to that website, and I'm a member, and I check in at least once a day or every other day. And I've met some people on there who have inspired me to keep doing this show, because there's so many people out there who really are, sorry about the noise there, who are really hurting and who really need help. And if you see someone in your life and you're just listening, but you're not a victim of child abuse, because this show is for everyone, and if you're just listening in and you see someone around you who needs a help and needs a hand to find support, I would suggest that you walk with them. You know, I had so many friends in my life who would encourage me to talk with them and try to share words of comfort with me and stuff. And then later on, just dump me and just be like, you know, we can't handle your struggle, basically. And, you know, to me, that's not really being a good friend. Friends are friends. You stick it out. And, you know, I've met some people on that network who I just encourage, and I hope that if they listen to this show, that they will, you know, see that it is so worth it. And it is so worth the struggle, because at the end of the struggle is you know, freedom, right? If you walk this out and you keep going and keep searching, you will find your place. You will find peace in your heart. But it all starts with you, and it all starts with making that decision that you want to yeah. Sorry, I'm just kind of trying to get my sound back here. Okay, I think that's good. I hope that you can still hear me. Yeah, it is worth it, and you can do it. And I would just encourage you to reach out. You have to reach out. Do not keep this internalized. That's what my brother did, and it killed him. And you know, he committed suicide as he did not reach out for help. He just internalized it, kept this misery, kept this pain to himself. And, you know, I would suggest that, you know, people like you and me who are walking out issues of domestic violence or child or whatever, and we need healing in our hearts and in our lives, to just keep reaching out. Get on those websites. There's some great websites out there. And I'm telling you, you don't want to pass these opportunities up, because there's so many survivors out there who can tell you. I'm sure I'm just like one in, you know, a whole world full of people who have overcome and who have proved that you can do it. You can walk free. And I just thank anyone who's joining me today. I see there's a couple people in the chat room, and you're more than welcome to pop in or leave a comment, but make sure you put private if you want it private. And yeah, I know that there's so many great organizations out there who are just, you know. There's hopeforhealing.org. That is Gail Crabtree, and her story is just amazing and awesome. She's got a great blog, Hope for Healing, and she also has a Blog Talk radio show, and that is it's Voices of Hope from Hope for Healing on Blog Talk Radio. You want to check that out. She just knows her stuff, and she's a survivor herself, and I would suggest you tune into her shows. She has great guests on there. Actually, I got to be a guest, but I don't know how great it was. But it was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience to talk to Gail, because she is really a mentor for me, and she is an inspiration to me, and she is everything really that causes me to stand up, because I wasn't going to do a Blog Talk radio show. I was actually on Blog Talk radio show as a registered listener, because I really wanted to hear what she had to say. So I tuned in as a registered just a listener, and I was listening in on her show, and then at the end I was going to log out, and I discovered that there was a button saying create your own show, so I clicked on that, and before you knew it, I had a Blog Talk radio show myself. So this was just only because I was tuning in to listen to Gail Crabtree. So she's the catalyst for this Blog Talk radio program. I just discovered that it was just such a good medium and a good way to get the message out there that we can heal. And Gail, you do want to check her out. She's on hopeforhealing.org, and that's a great resource. Also, let's see, what else do I have? Dreamcatchers for Abused Children. I'm a volunteer. I just got accepted to volunteer for them, and I'm so excited. I have my own link to my volunteer page for Dreamcatchers for Abused Children. Exactly as it says, just type it into your browser, Dreamcatchers for Abused Children, all one word, .com. They are also on MySpace, they're on Twitter, they're on LinkedIn, they're on YouTube as youtube.com /user/abused children. They're soon to have their own Blog Talk radio show, and I'll be tuning in for that, guaranteed. And if I can't make the live shows, then I will definitely be listening to the archive programs, because these two ladies, Sandra Potter, the founder and the CEO, and Donna Cashier, who is also one of the top people there, the co-founders, co-authors of books. They are dedicated to eradicating child abuse, and just I'll quote right from their website. Our mission is to eradicate. Quote. Our mission is to educate child abuse signs/symptoms, statistics, intervention, reporting, prevention, to assist victims, survivors in locating the proper resources to help achieve and enable a full recovery. And that's just awesome. I love these guys, and I support them 100%. It is hard to do what they do. They provide so many resources on just all over the web. So to do this, you spend all day at it, and I just give them some real credit. And they are such a huge, and they're like a light in my world. And they when I first saw their website, I just realized how much light and hope I got from their website. And I would highly recommend, if you are a survivor of child abuse, or if you are just a supporter of someone who has gone through and lived through child abuse, I would highly suggest that website, because they have so many resources. They also have a free publication out you can download right on their website, and it's a handbook, and it's a PDF. You can just download that. It's for free, and it's got so much great information on intervention and what to look for and how to intervene, and the signs of abuse and how to heal from abuse, and who to contact. And I'm telling you, it just goes on and on. I hope you've gotten something out of this show. I know I certainly have, because every time I get to share with you, I learn something myself. And I thank you so much for joining me. And I'll be on again tomorrow morning, 5:30 in the morning, one child abuse survivor to another, for 15 minutes, just a quick chat, just to encourage you, and just to sort of spread some love into your life and encourage you and spread some light into your life, give you some information and maybe a few websites. And I wish you all the best. And I just know, if you keep walking this journey out, you will succeed, will win, because that's all it takes. You just got to keep walking it out, and I hope you'll walk it out with me. And I thank you for joining me, and I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you'll catch me tomorrow morning, 5:30 Mountain Standard Time. Take care. Have a great and wonderful day. And we will talk to you again soon.